This is the Making Waves Mindset Show with your hosts, Richard Biase
and Dave Moskowitz. Learn from our journey as we share the ups and downs
of being your own boss.
Welcome, everyone, to the Making Waves Mindset Show.
Yes, welcome.
Welcome, everyone. This is the place where we encourage you to dream bigger, make waves, and take action in life. It's your mindset. Everything is in your mindset. You have the power and ability to do it. So thank you for joining Dave and I once again. And we hope you're kicking butt in your entrepreneurial journey.
Yes,
Dave, as always,
remember, please subscribe to our show. Watch it, listen to it, share it. And as I always say, if you don't like it, send it to someone who might.
Absolutely. I get a laugh every time, Dave. I get a laugh every time. It's true. You might not enjoy this one. We're not asking for you to share, one episode. Share every episode. If you're a regular listener and contributing to the program, you're a part of our community. You're a part of our tribe. And Dave and I value that. We love your feedback. We love that you're a part of it. So share it to somebody who might need that entrepreneurial butt kicking to get moving. We always, just before the show, we were chatting about, that mindset in terms of kind of cutting our values low. Mm-hmm. I know it's not the direction of the show, but, everyone has the capability of accomplishing greatness. And I think we sell ourselves short. So if this show is giving you that motivation to leave the 9-to-5, to become your own boss, tell other people about it. Don't be afraid. You can do anything. Mm-hmm. So we want you to be successful in your journey.
Right. And even if it's just the fact that you are enjoying the content, the motivational content.
Yes.
Pass that on to somebody who's not maybe willing to leave the 9-to-5, maybe not ready to leave the 9-to-5, but wanting to excel in their career, wanting to move forward. There's a lot of things we talk about on the show in past episodes and some of the guests that have been on. And don't be afraid. Go back to some of those episodes, re-listen to them, and find out some of the lessons that we've learned from some of our guests in terms of grit, in terms of strife, in terms of their ability to move forward and take risks and take action, and use those in the jobs that you're in. There's nothing wrong with that. Excel in the jobs that you're in, which will give you, just to your point, the experience, the knowledge, and the ability to move forward if you want to leave that 9-to-5 job.
Yeah. I've stopped listing our episodes by number now, because we literally, Dave, have a archival library of incredible recordings and video available for people to go back. It's like the library. Sign the book out. You can log in anywhere and listen around the world, audio and video, to the guests we've had on, to our ups and downs, to our experience on doing something that 99% of the population is unwilling to do, right? Yeah. People want to be comfortable, and this is the place to come if you want to have that horizon. And we're unaware of anybody else kind of doing this right now, at least in the Canadian market. But we know our reach is taking us to Asia, to Europe, to South America, all over the US. So our audience is exploding. It's we have to thank you. We have to thank you for joining. So
and please continue sending us the comments and sending us advice and other things that you want to for us to highlight and talk about. And if you are someone who's an entrepreneur and you're listening to this and you feel like you can add to our topics and give us some listener advice, please let us know. We will have you on our show. We are going to have some more guests jump back in to our show. Some of our previous guests, they're coming up, and some new guests. We also have some live in-person conversations going to happen again.
Yes.
So those are always good to do.
Yeah, we're pumped. We're pumped about that.
Yeah.
For today's recording, everyone, we always talk about our journey, and I have to be honest, I almost forget about things. Like, Dave and I have so much going on, and it wasn't until we finished our last recording, I'm like, son of a gun. How did I miss talking about real estate investing and the progress we've made on our first ever flip?
Yep.
And for those who don't know what a flip is essentially purchasing a property that needs work. It needs to be rehabilitated, needs to be renovated, completing that work, and then selling the property. It's a strategy. It is one of many strategies you can do. And for my wife and I, we have a number of things that we've done, from buy and hold real estate, from rent to own real estate, and now our first ever flip as we begin our second flip behind the scenes. So I wanted to talk about that because some of you might be interested in finding that type of, money-making entrepreneurial opportunity. It might be of interest to you. I would encourage you to, as Dave and I have had guests on that talk about money. If you have tangible assets, those are going to make you the greatest money. Saving your money in the bank per se is not always the best strategy. Put it into something, maybe gold and silver, maybe real estate. Don't buy depreciating assets, but do something with it. And that's what my wife and I have been doing for the past number of years. So last fall, we decided it's time for our first ever flip. We wanted to buy something. We were really focused on the commercial space previously, but we had to pivot. We had to make some drastic changes. So a part of that journey is having the right brokerage, is having the right power team in play. These are all things Dave and I have discussed in the past. And we identified a property. And let me tell you, it's not always easy. You have to have the right partners. You got to have the right people. And for us, we had to rely on people with more experience. What do Dave and I always talk about in our entrepreneurial journey? It's the mentors. Coaches. It's finding the right people. So we had a relationship with an individual, and they were willing to have us on board. And so we can learn what it's like to flip real estate. And this process, my gosh, Dave, I remember kind of highlighting on the show how we had tradespeople who were ready to put paper or pen to paper and then last minute ghost and vanish. And unfortunately, at least in Canada, and I'm sure other places, this is quite common. People are very flaky. They're not honest. They're not genuine. They're not willing to speak the facts or the truth. And I think if you were to have the right people in play and they're willing to put the pen to paper, you have a ticket to success at least. So after 3 separate contractors and tradespeople coming through, we finally found the right people. And with that, what were we met with after we found the property? Supply chain, allegedly, right. Supply chain issue. I say that. Yeah. Shortage of materials, delays. For some reason, there are a lot of people right now in Canada completing a lot of works and renovations to their own home, which is pulling a strain. And I kind of side tangent here for a second, but we don't encourage people to go into the trades in Canada. Everyone's all about go to school, get a job, go to debt. Stop that stuff. If you're interested in automotive, you're interested in plumbing, drywalling, concrete, pipe fitting, whatever, do it. Because there's money to be made in those industries.
Just to go off on a side tangent for a second. There's so I know a plumber and a carpenter. Both the plumber and carpenter are making a killing. They've both told me that they've made more during the last 2 years than they have their whole life. There is more demand now for good tradesmen, people who know the craft, people who know what they're doing right now than there has ever been because there's a lack of them.
Yeah. And Dave, what's the best part about it? Especially if you're good, the best part is you are your own boss.
Yes.
You can build a plumbing team, a masonry team, a drywalling team, a framing team. You are in the trades making a killing. You are your own boss. You are building an incredible group of people. And there's such a shortage. And we saw that firsthand as we went this route of flipping. So eventually we found a property. We had made some offers on other properties that didn't come through, but we finally found one. And then we're met with the issue of finding the right people to do our work, which fell through. We finally found the right people. And then we were met with delays in the supply chain.
Right.
So we found the home. I have some photos and some videos. I'm going to be sharing those shortly over the next few days and weeks. And what was amazing is we completely gutted almost down to the studs in certain areas this home. It was a 4-bedroom split home, huge, beautiful property in a mature neighborhood. And it backed onto a school, beautifully mature community as well.
Nice.
And when the work was done, we were like, wow, what's this going to be like? When my wife and I went to go see it, what's it going to turn into? And we were blown away with the finished product. Brand new kitchen, countertops, flooring, paint, all these things. It's amazing to see what you can do. And this journey started in the fall of 2021. And now we have the property being listed and we're in the spring of 2022. So just a little over 4 or 5 months.
Nice.
But the work's there, and we had the right people in play.
And what area?
This is going to be out in the Peterborough area. For those who know, that is north of Durham region, north of Toronto, and that is the area that we were able to get our boots on the ground at least and go through our first flip. So
if you're looking to buy a home,
if you're looking to buy a home, check it out.
Newly renovated, beautiful,
beautiful home. I think the thing, Dave, that discourages people through this process is the risk, right? They don't understand the risk, or they don't want to take the risk. Or they're perhaps looking in the wrong markets. I think sometimes you need to go to places where you can maximize the potential. You're going to have to run your numbers. You're going to have to see what the potential comps will be, comparables when it comes time to selling. I'm not saying you can dive into the big city of Toronto or Calgary or Montreal and do it. It might not work if you're trying to build the diamond in the rough. You want to find that property within a community that needs the work, or just on the outside of the community it needs the work, where you're going to see a great return in play. And we had to go to Peterborough for it, and that's fine. It wasn't far from where we are. But as I said, when we bought it, I never saw the property when we bought it. I'm a big believer in, you don't need to invest where you live. You can invest anywhere. You can be in the US, you can be Central South America, as kind of previously spoken about. But take the risk and don't be afraid. Have the right people in play. And I think that's one of the biggest lessons here, is we have the right people to teach us and to learn how this process was done. And we're excited for many more opportunities with them and others to build the journey.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What do you think was the biggest hurdle that you've experienced now that you've done a full flip? What was the biggest hurdle? And, we heard a bit about the contractors and stuff like that. But personally, what do you think the biggest hurdle for you was?
Of course, I think the biggest hurdle is going to be, what is your plan? When my wife and I look at everything, we always have exit strategies. Is this going to be a flip? Do we decide to make it a buy and hold? Let's say the market isn't there and we need to pivot. Do we then hold on to the property and rent it out? So then it becomes a burr. You're buying, renovating, rehabbing, refinancing, renting, repeating. Essentially, the strategy, not so many terms there. But I think the biggest hurdle is, what's the plan? Even financially, what's the plan? If you're budgeting for, let's say, 4 to 6 months and things take longer because of the delay, what's the cost of your borrowing power? How long are your loans at with the brokerage? When are those fees up for renewal? Because money costs its money, but it's also the cheapest form of money, especially when you can pivot and use other real estate to fund these opportunities. So I think that was the hurdle, the biggest kind of worry per se, is, all right, how long is this going to take? What if, right? I know you make fun of the what ifers, but what if things do get dragged out? And they did. They were dragged out. We didn't start construction for almost 2 to 3 months because couldn't get contractors in play. They were unwilling to move forward. And these were people lined up almost before the closing of the home and early into the renovations.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. So for those out there, I encourage you to do it. If you can do it, go into markets that, you wouldn't consider your traditional norm. You might need to be outside the Ottawa area. You might need to be outside the London area. You might need to be outside, North Bay. Go where it makes sense. Invest where it makes sense. Do your homework, build the right team, understand the numbers when it comes to doing that, and look at the goal at the end of the day. Don't get so drawn up in the day-to-day side of work. You have the right people in play. You have contractors, tradespeople coming in, but be prepared for the unexpected and be prepared for what comes next. I think that's the greatest, opportunity. And what's been fun with that, we've been able to kind of do a light flip. We're doing a light flip now on another property that we have. And it's not going to be to that extent. We're looking at new kitchen counters, new sinks, replacing all the light fixtures, wall painting, flooring, and, not to that level, but we also need to understand what the area is like.
Right. Yeah. I was just going to ask you. So now that you've done one, you're definitely more knowledgeable now than you were before. And would you do another one? So you've already answered that, but so it's something that you now have experience of and you're a big proponent of, obviously.
100%. I think it's a great strategy and something. I think flipping, for those who are looking at the money making strategy to maybe reinvest into other business opportunities or into real estate, aside from if you decide you want to do a flip, it's one of the quicker ways. You can do wholesaling. It's another strategy for another episode, but it's one of the quickest ways to build capital to start funding that piggy bank per se, where you can start being more aggressive with properties closer to urban centers if that's where you want to be.
Right.
It's just really up to what your comfort level is. And to move on to the next one, we have to do it. It's been fun. We're going to continue doing it. And I say we have to do it because why not? Why not? We have that experience under the belt. We're not experts, but we continue to learn from mistakes and continue to build on successful future plans of other opportunities in this space.
Yeah.
So, it's been a good journey.
That's awesome. Yeah. For our listeners, if you are interested in doing this and you need questions on it, reach out to Richard. He's tried, true, and tested right now. He has in this journey of our leaving the 9-to-5 and getting into entrepreneurship, you've now gone over a hurdle. You've reached this, you've learned what to do and what not to do now. So these are life experiences that you will enjoy on your next flip, and you'll be easier and get easier and easier. Right. Yeah.
I think, Dave, for those who want more knowledge, want more reading material and listening material, I'm going to plug some other shows. Bigger Pockets, if you find that on your Apple or Google Play Store, an incredible real estate investment group to listen to. Robert Kiyosaki has also incredible stuff. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, also on Apple and Google Podcasts. Listening to these two groups can help inspire you. I would encourage you, and depending where you are in the world, there are real estate investing meetups where you can network with people. You can learn with people. And as Dave and I say, is find people doing what you would like to do and who have already done it. Learn from those people. Dave and I are huge advocates for that. And for the past number of years, we were sticking on certain strategies. We needed to pivot even more just this fall into doing this. So look for those resources, learn online, watch the episodes, listen to the episodes, and start being a part of that process so you know what you're looking for when it comes time to doing that. There are incredible opportunities, again, from wholesaling, rent to own, different risk strategies. It's totally up to you and what you're comfortable in doing, or if you want to be a risk taker, you know what you have to do. You have to pull the trigger. You have to take action.
That's right.
So just a little recap. I kind of, like I said, Dave, I felt like, damn, like I haven't, how did we miss this hurdle? Because there's so many things we have, both of us going on. I'm like, this is a pretty important spot right now. Like we missed this. Wouldn't say missed it, but it's appropriate now that we've gotten to the end where we can now reflect on the success of something that's for sale.
Definitely. Definitely. Yeah. And this is, the crux of our show from the very beginning was to follow our journey and giving the ups and downs of where we are and what we've gone through. And, we sort of missed the ball on a couple episodes in recapping this, but now that you are completed with one, it's good to share that information along the way.
It's true. I think one takeaway for the listeners is, you need to take action. We constantly say that in every episode. The more you think, the more you're looking, it becomes analysis paralysis. And if you're unwilling to move ahead and take this opportunity, then you're going to be in the dust. And as Dave and I say, the victim mentality, that's all you. You can't blame Dave and I for being successful in diversifying our business investments and opportunities. The other thing, at least in the Canadian market, more so Ontario right now, is we saw, especially around Christmas into the beginning of 2022, Dave and I remember when we were looking at real estate things, the markets were out of control.
That's right.
And there are certain strategies that you would employ in certain swings of the market. And to have dived or started a flip, I'd say like January, February in Ontario, Canada, I would have said no. Because the acquisition of the property was astronomically expensive. And now what are we seeing? A softening in the market.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. So if you bought at the wrong time and you're now looking to sell at the wrong time, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
You basically have done all this work to make minimal property or profit, minimal leverage to the next thing that you want to do. And in our case, we took opportunity at the end of summer, early fall, when things were relatively cheap. They're still high. They're softening. It's not as high, but then it comes down to having the right realtor. It comes down to having the right strategies to sell and to liquidate.
Right.
Maybe you need to hold on to the property, but for those hearing the episode right now in May 2022, the markets have softened. So maybe it's your opportunity to look. It's an educational show. We want you to find the right people. We want you to find the right information and make the right decisions on your own. You just have to do it. You just have to get started.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't wait. Don't leave all that liquid equity you have sit there, do nothing at the banks.
Unless you're investing it in something. Not the stocks, because they're just going crazy right now.
Not the banks. Don't give the banks any more money. Just put the money in other things.
And Dave, that's a great piece of advice, because you have the crypto space, which
So
I think
many
we're all
different
learning
things.
about and reading about. Banks are corporations.
Yeah.
Right? They're not your friends.
That's right.
They're businesses. They're making money off you. All your money sitting there, they're investing in, right?
Yeah.
If everyone were to go to the bank right now in your neighborhood and take out the money, they don't even have money to give you.
Yeah.
People might not know this. Even walking into the bank to maybe ask, I need $10,000, the bank
You won't get
panics.
it.
You won't get it.
You won't get it.
So people don't understand that. You need to start putting your money into things.
Yeah.
Gold, silver, real estate.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to put it in the crypto, the digital space, do it. Read about it. Learn about it. But don't let it sit there. Have the money make money for you. Lend it out privately. Partner up with a brokerage.
Yeah.
There are tons of people looking for hard money, as we call it, because there are people who can't qualify for mortgages.
That's right.
They're widows. They went through a marriage breakup. There are all types of individuals looking for things. And if you have the right people in play, the right power team in play, you're going to be in a great position, even short term or long term. You have to figure out a strategy. And so we're hopefully through our show, David and I are giving you, different avenues to think, different opportunities, different mindsets of how you can be creative at making money and doing things.
Yeah.
So
speaking of crypto, let's get a guest on.
We need, if any of our listeners, you have? Okay, perfect.
I will reach out to them. We will get them on.
I think this is a needed episode.
Yeah.
This is a needed episode.
Yeah, we will do that for our listeners.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well, thanks everyone.
Yeah, it's been another educational episode. It's been good.
Absolutely. It's been great.
Please, subscribe, watch our shows, listen to our shows, send it to people. Give that kick in the butt to somebody who you've been talking to. If it's not you and you're already in this mindset and you know about 2 or 3 people who are telling you every day, I hate my job. I hate where I am. I don't enjoy it. I'm not enjoying my job. I'm not enjoying my life. I'm not enjoying where I am in this place. Everyone hears it. Everyone hears it. Everyone knows a coworker who complains about the job. Everyone does. You can't tell me you don't work in a place. If you are listening to our show, you can't tell me you don't work somewhere or know somebody or go to a place or maybe grab your coffee in the morning where the barista tells you this is not what I want to do with my life. Send them the show. Give them this is the kick in the ass that they need. And this is what we're hearing from a lot of our subscribers. Thank you. Thanks for giving us the kick in the ass. This was perfect.
Those 2 dudes. I think
those
that was
2
our
dudes.
favorite.
That was the best one. Those 2 dudes.
Yeah.
Those 2 dudes.
Dave, I want to add in there that everyone's measure of success is different. We get it. Some people, it's not having millions of dollars. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. It's your choice. Yeah. And if success to you is being home with your family and not having to work shift work anymore, not waiting for this silly pension, okay, that's your level of success. But I'm going to be more aggressive and question you on why you're setting your bar so low. I'm sorry. Yeah. I think that's a little selfish, that you could aim for greater things in life. And the fact that you're unwilling to take more risk or unwilling to take action is sad. I'll be harsh. I'm going to be harsh on that because people are lacking motivation right now. And again, I keep saying it almost every episode with you, Dave. We know people, like you said, in our even former lines of work, other businesses, 9 to 5, where they are employees and they just don't know where that next journey should go. You have to do something. Otherwise, you're still going to be in the same spot and you're going to have no one but to blame. As Dave, you said, consequences. No one but to blame but yourself. And so we're really harping hard and pushing you to give you that kick in the butt, to make waves in your life, to change your mindset and to do something. We've had so many incredible people on. We're going to be bringing them back to tell you what's changed in the past year, because they did something. And when they look back, they're going to be happy with their journey, while others are going to be sitting there, I should have, and I can't, and I can't, and I can't.
That's right. Yep.
So anyways, you know the rest, everyone. Make waves.
That's right. Dream
bigger.
Take action.
Take action. We'll talk to you on our next episode.